What's up, movie fans? I'm the Master of Movies, Clay from the Hills Maniacs, and today I'm going to be bringing you the final part of my updated DVD and Blu-ray collection. So we're going to start this part off ending with my DVDs, and we're going to end with the box sets, and then we'll get into all of my Blu-rays. The box sets are not going to be necessarily in alphabetical order like the rest of the stuff was. I just kind of threw them in a bin and to keep them separate. But I mean, some of them might end up being, but I just kind of fit them in, by thickness or whatever of the cases themselves. So we'll start with the first one here is The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra complete series for both. I haven't seen either one of these, and I've heard great things about, at least about The Last Airbender, or Avatar The Last Airbender, and I've wanted to check it out because I haven't seen it. Still haven't gotten around to it yet, but it's definitely one that I will check out at some point. The next one I have is the Best of Warner Brothers Best Pictures collection. So this it is 20 films that were all from Warner Brothers that all won Best Picture, and I picked this up because I wanted to review all the Best Picture winners. I haven't watched all of these yet. Some of these I already had other copies of. For example, Lord of the Rings Return of the King I already had, which you would have seen in my another previous part of my DVD collection. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest you'll see another copy of. But I pretty much bought this because they are all Best Picture winners, so I bought this for that. And I haven't watched all of them, but I might review some more of those, so stay tuned for those. If that's something you want to see, let me know. Next is The Curse of Oak Island, seasons 1 through 6. I mentioned season 7 in a previous episode of my collection, and this is seasons 1 through 6. This is my favorite show, or one of my favorite shows on TV. These two brothers are basically digging on an island to find some lost treasure that's supposedly there. Really good show. It's on History Channel. It's still on. They're on season 9, I believe. So yeah, we still watch this show. Really good show. That's the first 6 seasons. And then these next two, I have seasons 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 of Dragon Ball Z. I never really got into it like when it was out. And then I figured, I'll buy them. Maybe I'll get into them again. I started watching season 1. Haven't finished it yet. Not a bad series. It was just never my favorite. I was never into those kinds of things. The next one I have is the Godfather collection. This is all 3 films. I got this used at FYE, but it came with all 3 films and a bonus disc thing with bonus materials. I have not seen any of these. 2 of them won Best Picture, so I'll probably watch them and review them at some point. But you did probably hear me talk about these before in previous episode or versions of this DVD collection I've done, but haven't seen these. I know they're classics. I really need to watch them, but this is the complete all 3 of those. Next we have the Lego Ninjago movie. The reason I kept this in here is just because it has these little things with it. I know this is actually a Blu-ray, but the actual case itself is also in here. It came with like these keychain things. I'll probably never take them out of them or use them, but I keep it like this just because it came with those, and it's kind of a box set. Next is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I mentioned earlier with the Warner Brothers Best Picture winner. This came with a lot of stuff. This was actually a cool set. Obviously the discs are not in here, as I mentioned before, because it is in the in my black flip cases. But this is the DVD case that it came in, and then it came with of course the booklet and some original like movie posters and stuff. It came with a deck of playing cards, which is really cool. I haven't actually opened those or used them yet because I want to keep them nice and in here. and then it came with a book telling the story about One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and how they wrote it and stuff like that. So this was a cool set, and I found it for, I think, like $15-20 or something at Walmart one time, and I was like, I have to pick this up, and we watched it. This was a good movie. Jack Nicholson does a great job. This won 4 or 5 Oscars. I know it won Best Picture, Best Actor, and Best Actress. It might have won Best Director too. I can't remember what all it won. It did win 5 Academy Awards according to this. Nominated for 9, won 5. So really good movie. If you haven't seen this, check this out. And if you don't have this set, I recommend getting it because it's really cool. And it came with an envelope and stuff that has like pictures of the different people and who they played. So it's a really cool set. Check this one out if you haven't already. Next is The Grinch. This is not the original How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This is The Grinch with Benedict Cumberbatch voicing the Grinch, and what you hear rattling around in there, because this is like a tin that opens up, and then of course the actual case itself is inside. I think it might have come with something else, but I can't really remember. This was a good movie. We did watch this, and I really like this tin. I don't buy many of these tins and stuff, but this one was kind of cool, so I got that one. Next is Star Trek, the original series, season 1. It came in this cool like case like this, and then of course you take this out, and each of these is like a clear plastic thing. I never got into Star Trek, like I said before, when I was showing off the movies collection and stuff, but I picked this up because it was kind of cool looking, and it was real cheap at FYE, and I figured I'd check it out, but I haven't yet. So I still don't know what it's like, but I never really got into Star Trek. I'll probably watch it at some point. I just haven't yet. Next is Robin Hood, the complete series. I didn't even know they made a series about Robin Hood, but I guess they did. And so I picked this up with the intent to watch it, and I haven't yet. Like most things, I haven't watched this yet. But I kept this out just because it is kind of thick, and it's a lot bigger than a normal DVD case. Next is Seinfeld, seasons 1 and 2, another one I picked up at FYE. I know a lot of people love Seinfeld. I never watched any of it, so I picked this up for cheap because it was used, and I figured I'd check it out. Still haven't gotten around to watching it yet. You're going to hear me say that a lot if you haven't heard me say that enough already. Next is Planet Earth and Frozen Planet 2-pack. It has the Planet Earth in it, another copy of this, which I already showed, and then of course Frozen Planet on Blu-ray. 2 great series from BBC Earth about Earth and things like that. 2 great documentaries, both narrated by David Attenborough. Love both of these. I've mentioned that for pretty much every single one of those ones from BBC. I've said that, and they are great series. So check those out if you're into like nature documentaries and stuff. Next is the complete series of Hogan's Heroes. I picked this up because it was cheap. I had watched a few episodes on TV the one day I think it was on. My mom had it on or something, and I was watching a couple episodes. Seemed interesting. I picked it up. It was for a set like this where I think it's 6 seasons or whatever, and it's the complete series. For it to only be like $15 is pretty good. So I was like, why not? While it's on sale, pick it up. I still haven't watched this whole series, but because it is an older series. But Richard Dawson's in it, so there's that. Next is Undertaker, The Streak. I just kept this out. It's not like it needs to be set out because it's not really a box set. It's only 4 discs, but this case is really cool, and I just enjoy looking at this. And then of course you take the slip cover off, and it's just Undertaker sticking out his tongue. This is a wrestling one, but this is a great series showing all his matches and his undefeated streak at WrestleMania and stuff. But this is just a cool case, so I keep it in with the box sets just so I can keep it out. Next is Stranger Things season 1. This is one of those VHS cases. This is a DVD. This is not on VHS. It's DVD and Blu-ray. but it came in like a VHS case with the booklet and stuff. And then you can open this and you get the Blu-ray in the back. So this is not VHS, this is a DVD. But I never got into Stranger Things, but I picked up season 1 because it's one I want to check out, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Let me know if you've seen it, what you thought of Stranger Things. I think it's still on. Is it still a series on? I don't know. Never watched it. Next is the original trilogy of Star Wars. I just keep these out because it's a box set, and instead of keeping them in with the other ones. But probably the 3 best Star Wars movies. Empire is my favorite, then Return of the Jedi and A New Hope, and then the other 6, whatever. But I love Star Wars anyways, so there's those. I'm not going to say anything bad about those because they weren't that bad. Next is the complete series of That 70s Show. I bought this because, I watched this show. It was on in the mornings when I was going to high school and stuff, and it was just a funny show, so I just picked it up real cheap at FYE and stuff. I haven't watched it since I bought it, but I haven't seen every episode of the show, but I've seen a lot of it. And it's weird that they come in the discs come in these like plastic things, but whatever. At least that's how they were when I bought it. I don't know if that's how they originally came or not. Next is WrestleMania 24. I showed some other WrestleMania ones I had before, but this is a tin, and then inside is the actual 3-disc set inside. I have watched this. Pretty good show. It's a wrestling one. It had some good matches and stuff on it. Next is, and I mentioned this before when I mentioned The Walking Dead, I said I had season 4 in a box set. So I found this at a collectibles store. This is the complete season 4 of The Walking Dead. So I have all first 10 seasons of it, and we just started watching season 11, so don't spoil anything for us. We watched the first 3 episodes, but this comes with like a key in here, and then it opens up, and of course the case inside, which is a really cool cover, and then the discs would be inside there, obviously not in there now, but still a really cool box set for that. I didn't know they did that. I don't know if they did any of those for any of the other ones or not, so I don't have any other ones in the thing like that. But next is Yu-Gi-Oh! The complete first season. I know I showed season 1 volume whatever when I was showing off my DVD collection in the last video, but this is the complete season 1. I wasn't sure if what I had was the full series, or the full season, so I picked this up just to have the full first season. This was one of my favorite shows. I still play the card game sometimes, so there's that. And then this is, it's called The Deep, but it has Discover Planet Ocean and Mysteries of the Deep inside, 2 different series, both about the oceans and stuff. So it was really interesting one. They weren't from BBC Earth, so they weren't narrated by David Attenborough, but still pretty good. The one talks about different things that have been found under the ocean, not just animals and stuff, but just like shipwrecks and stuff, or ancient cities and stuff, which was pretty interesting. And these are both like older. I think they're from, not old, but they're from the early 2000s. I think one's 2005, one's 2009. So, but this was still a good series. So that's it for my box sets. Now we'll get into the Blu-rays. The first one I have is A.D. The Bible Continues. If you watched part 1 of my DVD collection, you saw that I had the Bible, the Epic Ministries series. This was basically the continuation of it. So everything after where it left off. And this was still a really good show. This one focused a lot on the crucifixion of Jesus and stuff, and then the resurrection and all that. So it was still a really good series. Next is A Christmas Carol. This has George C. Scott as Ebenezer Scrooge. This was, I think, the first version of this that I actually watched. I showed the Disney animated edition before in part 1 of this collection video, well, not this one, but of the overall series. And again, every rendition of this I think is great. They're all pretty much the same, but this was, I bought that one because it was the first one I watched, whenever I first watched it, and then I just picked it up on Blu-ray to rewatch it. And we did rewatch it recently for Christmas, so A Quiet Place 2, haven't seen this. I did watch the first one, really enjoyed the first one, just haven't seen the second one yet, so I need to get around to seeing that. This next one is 4K. It's Ad Astra. I wanted to see this in theaters, didn't get around to it, still haven't watched it, but I picked it up on 4K because it was all that was available at the time. Next is Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. This was one of my favorite movies, still is. I had a fun time with this. I know a lot of people don't like this movie. I don't care. I like this movie, so that's why I have it on Blu-ray. Next is Age of Heroes. Haven't seen this. I found this for real cheap, I think at Dollar Tree or something. It seemed interesting. Picked it up. I haven't watched it. Let me know if you know anything about this. Next is the Alien Anthology. This has the first four, so Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, and Alien Resurrection. I've seen all four. I like the first two. 3 and 4, whatever. But they're still not bad movies. The first one's obviously a classic. Some of my favorite movies, along with Predator, and a great series, or a great set. I mean, next is Alien Covenant. Whatever. I had watched this before I watched Prometheus, so this movie didn't make any sense. This is technically a prequel to Alien, but a sequel to Prometheus. And I hadn't watched Prometheus, so this movie made no sense. But now that I've seen Prometheus, I need to rewatch this to see if it makes any more sense. Maybe I'll do a rewatch in order or something and watch them all, including the Alien movies. Who knows? Next is Alita Battle Angel. Really enjoyed this movie when I saw it. I didn't watch it in theaters. I saw it on DVD when I bought it. Really good movie. I hope they make a sequel to this, because if they're not, the ending was really stupid. It left on a cliffhanger type thing. So if they're not making a second one of this, that ending was stupid. If they are making a second one, the ending made a lot of sense and was really great. But really good movie overall. All Dogs Go to Heaven. Haven't seen this, but I heard it was good, so I need to check this out. Allegiant, I showed the 3-pack of Allegiant, Divergent, and Insurgent before, so I really don't need this, but I had this before I bought the 3-pack. This is like the second or third one in the series anyways, so I don't know why I had that one. Amazing Spider-Man 2. I wasted money on this trash. This movie sucked. There's nothing good I'm going to say about that movie because it sucked. America's National Parks, an Eagle's Eye View, or an Eagle's View. I found this at the Dollar Tree, and it seemed interesting. It's basically a documentary about the different national parks in America and stuff, but it's from the perspective of an eagle, where they show overhead shots and stuff. But I haven't watched the full thing, so I need to watch this because I'm into those nature documentaries and stuff, which I've said numerous times already. This is a 2-pack of American History X and A History of Violence. I found this at Dollar General, I think, and I haven't watched either one of these, but I picked them up because they're 2 movies, and I've heard about both of them, heard good things, so I do want to check them out. You're going to hear me say that a lot. Next is American Sniper. This was a good movie. I didn't watch this one in theaters either, but I have watched it on Blu-ray. Really good movie. I didn't know the story of, what was his name, Chris Kyle, I think. I didn't know the story of him before I watched this, so I don't know if it was completely accurate or what, but it was still a really good movie. Bradley Cooper did a great job. An American Tale, 5 Goes West. I think this is the second one in the series. I picked this up because it was cheap, but haven't watched this or the other one yet. I think this is the second one, so I probably can't watch that one yet anyways. Angels and Demons. This is part of the... I think this is part of the Da Vinci Code series, I think. But I haven't seen this one yet either. I haven't seen any of the series. Ant Bully. I haven't seen this full thing. I've seen parts of this. and I do remember liking what I saw, so I picked it up because it was cheap, but I haven't watched this full movie. Ant-Man and the Wasp, still not my least favorite MCU film. That will always go to Iron Man 2 and Thor the Dark World. They're kind of tied right there. Well, now maybe Eternals. Eternals is pretty bad, but Ant-Man and the Wasp isn't the greatest movie. It had plot points that really didn't make any sense. But hey, who knows? Maybe the third one will be better. Assassin's Creed. I picked this up mostly because of the Deadpool slips. I tried to grab as many of these as I could when Warner Brothers put out, or not Warner Brothers, when Fox put out their cases with Deadpool on different cases of movies he wasn't in. I thought that was kind of neat. Like, no other, movie company had ever done that before, so that was kind of cool. And I like that it says on the back, it's Deadpool holding a sign, and it says, "I wish I was in this movie, but I'm not." So that's kind of cool. But I haven't watched this movie. I played one of the video games, but haven't seen this. I just kind of picked it up for the slipcover. Next, we get into some of the best films in the MCU. Well, 3 out of 4 ain't bad. This is Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron isn't as bad as people make it out to be. It's definitely not perfect by any means, but Avengers, really good. Age of Ultron, not as good, but again, not horrible. Probably my favorite MCU film, Avengers Infinity War, and then probably my second, Avengers Endgame, which was, I think it just got beat out again by Avatar for highest grossing film, unless it made it back up. I don't keep track of that, but whatever. These two are definitely the 2 best films in the MCU. I don't care. I will argue till the end of time that those 2 are the best in the MCU. Shang-Chi isn't bad. It's still one of my favorites. Also, Black Panther, I know a lot of people like. I like Black Panther. There are some great MCU films, but Infinity War and Endgame are just incredible movies. Next I have is Battle of Britain. This was I guess a documentary or movie or something. I found this at Dollar Tree, and it seemed interesting. Has a few big names in it and stuff, so I picked this up but haven't watched it yet. Next is Disney Nature Bears. This was a really good movie about a family of bears in Alaska. I really like this. This was the first Disney Nature thing I saw. I saw this in theaters. Watched it, I think, twice again after that. It's still a really good series. Definitely check out these Disney Nature ones. This is the only one I've seen, so I don't know how the other ones are, but I know they've done penguins and monkeys, I think, or something like that. But really cool movie. It is technically a movie. Beetlejuice, classic. Michael Keaton. I've seen this a few times. Really enjoy this movie. Beyond Skyline. I found this at Dollar Tree. It's like an alien invasion type thing. Haven't watched it yet, but it was only $1, so I picked it up. Big Hero 6, one of my favorite Disney movies. This was really good. I know they made a series about it. I heard they might be making a live action version of this, and this is technically Marvel, so they might end up adding them to the MCU at some point. I don't know, maybe, who knows. I'd be okay with Baymax being in the MCU, but really good, fun movie with a huge twist and kind of a sad ending. Big Lebowski. Haven't seen this. I know it's a good movie. A lot of people talk about it, but I just haven't gotten around to it. I picked it up with the intent to watch it and still haven't. Black Panther, another really good MCU film. Unfortunately, Chadwick Boseman passed away, but Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, I'll see that when it comes out. I don't know what they're going to do now because he's gone, but hopefully it can be just as good as this. I know nothing will compare to this with him in it, but really good movie. And a great setup for Black Panther being part of the MCU. Black Sails, the complete series. I picked this up because I heard a lot of people talking about Black Sails and saying that it was a good series, so I picked it up to watch it. It was really cheap. I got it, and again, haven't watched it yet, but I do want to check this one out, so let me know if you've seen this, what you thought about it. Black Widow, I kind of like this case. It's like red. That's kind of cool. It makes it stand out. Not a bad movie. Not one of my favorites, but still not a bad movie. Saw this in theaters, and I like to put the ticket stubs in the cases of the movies I see. So saw this in theaters, watched it again on DVD after that. Did it for part of my Marvel rewatch. Still a good movie. I wish they would have done more with Taskmaster. Who knows, maybe they will in future projects, but not bad. It takes place between Civil War and Infinity War, I think, or between, yeah, something like that. So there's that. Yeah. Next is Blitz. Haven't seen this. Found this again at Dollar Tree. Jason Statham. It seemed interesting. Haven't watched it yet. The Book of Life. I actually watched this. It was on TV one night. And I guess now technically it's owned by Disney because it's Fox. But it was on TV one night, so I picked it up. So I watched it on TV the one night, and I really enjoyed it. So when I found it for real cheap at Walmart on Blu-ray, I picked it up. I know there's a sticker over the girl's face, but I'm not peeling that off because then it leaves that residue on the discs or on the case. But really good movie. I haven't seen Coco, so I don't know if it gives me Coco vibes, like just based off of the plot of it, but I don't know how you can compare it to Coco, but still really good movie. Brave, really great Pixar movie. This is one of my favorites. I don't think there's really been that many that I don't like. But Brave is definitely one of my favorites. Really good Pixar film. If you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. Braveheart, another classic, Best Picture. It won 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Well deserving. Great movie. Mel Gibson does a great job. I did a review of this on this channel, so you can go check that out if you want. Really great movie. And then Cabin Fever, Patient Zero. I don't know. I found this at Dollar Tree, picked it up. Haven't watched it. I don't know if it's part of a series or something, because I think there's just a Cabin Fever one. So I don't know. But I just picked it up because it was real cheap. I like buying movies cheap, if you can't tell, especially when they're movies that I'll probably never watch, but I have them anyways, even though I say I'm gonna watch them. Speaking of which, Camelot. I picked this up just because it was kind of cool. It came with like a booklet and stuff. So yeah, there's the booklet, and then there's a bonus disc in the back. Don't know much about this. Found it at Dollar General, so I picked it up. I haven't watched it yet, obviously, but it won 3 Academy Awards, so there's that. Candyman, one of my favorite horror movies. Really good. Haven't watched the new one yet. I had that on DVD. You would have seen that in another previous part. Really good movie. If you haven't seen this, go check it out. The original Candyman. I haven't seen the new one, so I don't know what it's like. But I think, well, weren't there sequels to this anyways? But this is the original. Really good movie. Captain America, the First Avenger. I had Winter Soldier and Civil War on DVD. This is probably my second favorite of the 3, I think. They're all good, but I think it's Winter Soldier, First Avenger, and then Civil War. But still a really good introduction movie for Captain America, so as part of the MCU especially. Captain Marvel, I don't care. I honestly don't. I know a lot of people like this movie for whatever reason. I think it's pointless. I honestly do. She hasn't done much. If she's supposed to be this all-powerful hero and stuff, why couldn't she have defeated Thanos by herself in Endgame? This doesn't make any sense. all it did was introduce scrolls so that they could have them in Spider-Man. Carrie, this is the original. I haven't seen this. I picked it up for cheap because I know it's like a classic horror movie and stuff. I'll probably watch it at some point, maybe around Halloween or something. This next one is The Case for Christ. This is basically where a guy tries to disprove the stories in the Bible and the life of Jesus and stuff like that, and ends up actually becoming a Christian by trying to disprove it. So it was a really cool movie, and I think it might be based off of a true story. Yeah, and it's based off a book. So really good movie. Castaway, another one that I haven't seen, but it's another classic. I need to watch this. But again, with the Deadpool slipcover, it's Deadpool's face as Wilson, and again, Deadpool on the back saying, "I wish I was in this movie, but I'm not." I love these slipcovers. This was really cool. I wish every company would do this. Pick a character and just, like, whenever a movie's coming out and they just released cases with the characters on it and stuff, that would be really cool. But another one that I need to watch. Catwoman, the one with Halle Berry. I heard this movie sucked. I don't know. It was cheap. I picked it up. I haven't watched it, but yeah. Next is Christine. One of my favorite Stephen King movies about a car that comes to life. Really, really good movie. If you haven't seen this, definitely check it out. Really good. Really creepy and scary, but, well, not really, but still, really good. This you would have seen another copy of on DVD as part of a 2-pack with Clash of the Titans and Wrath of the Titans. This is Clash of the Titans. This is a steelbook. The disc is in here, just because I have the other copy of it, but I didn't want to get, I found this, and I love steelbooks. I don't really care what the movie is. I try to buy as many steelbooks as I can, and because this was at Dollar General, it wasn't like the normal cost of a steelbook, so it was only like $7 or whatever, and I was like, sure, I'll get it, because I didn't mind the movie, but even though I already had a copy of it, but I just picked up the steelbook. The Clint Eastwood 2-film collection, Dirty Harry and Magnum Force. Haven't seen either one. I know Dirty Harry is like a classic, and I probably should watch these, but I just haven't yet. Cold Pursuit, Liam Neeson. I have seen this one where his son gets killed, I think. Is his son? Yeah. I think his son gets killed, and he's a snowplow driver or something, and he chases after the people that killed his son. So basically every Liam Neeson movie. But really, really good movie. Again, haven't seen a Liam Neeson movie that I really haven't liked. So I enjoyed this. I'm working on getting all of his movies just because he's my favorite actor. And then Cruella. Didn't see this in theaters. Didn't really care to. But I got sent this through the Disney movie fan club that I'm part of. This was the movie of the month thing that they do. And so I ordered this. I mean, yeah, you still have to pay for it, but I got this for that. I wouldn't have bought it otherwise, but I was like, well, what the heck? I'll get it because it's part of the, it's a Disney movie, so I'll check it out. Next is The Dark Tower. Haven't seen this, heard it was really good. Want to check that one out. Another one of the Deadpool slipcovers. It's Deadpool riding a inflatable duck raft thing. It's The Day After Tomorrow. Good movie. Picked it up because of the Deadpool slip, and then watched it. Good movie. Really good. One of my favorite disaster films, but love that slipcover. Again, they need to do more like that. I don't even care if it's just Deadpool stuff. And speaking of Deadpool on slipcovers, here's Deadpool on the Deadpool slipcover. I would hope so. This is a really cool cover. Deadpool is a good movie. Didn't watch Deadpool 2. But yeah, this is what the actual case looks like. So a huge improvement from just not that there's anything wrong with Deadpool's mask, but that's just a really cool slipcover. And he actually is in that movie. The Death of Superman. This is an animated DC thing. I don't know. It sounded interesting. picked it up. It's kind of like the Superman versus what's his name, Doomsday, as if it was like Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice type thing, but it's animated and Superman dies, I guess. I don't know, I didn't watch it. Deepwater Horizon, really good movie based on a true event of an oil factory rig thing that's out in the ocean that catches fire and they have to all escape and stuff. I really like these movies that Mark Wahlberg was doing based on true stories and stuff, but this is probably my favorite of those that he was doing, but really good movie. The Delta Force, Chuck Norris. I have another copy of this in the Chuck Norris set that I showed in a previous video. Haven't seen this, so I don't know what it's like. Another steelbook, the Die Hard collection. I haven't actually seen any of the Die Hard movies. I picked this up because, one, it's a steelbook, and two, I do want to see the all of these, because I know at least the original one's like a classic. So I've seen bits and pieces of these, but I haven't seen the full things of them. So I do need to check those out. But that's a really cool steelbook too. Next is Doolittle, another one I saw in theaters. A lot of people hated on this movie. I didn't mind this. I thought it was fun. I mean, RDJ isn't one of my favorite actors. I'm sorry, but he's not. But I didn't mind this movie. I mean, it was the story of Dr. Doolittle who can talk with animals and stuff, and it had a plot, and I thought it was good. So, but that's just me. You can hate on it if you want to. Don't Breathe. This was a really interesting movie. Really different. You know, these kids end up breaking into this ex-Marine's house, and because he's blind, but they know he has money stashed there, so they break in and try to steal the money, but he ends up finding them because it's his house and he's blind, so he should know his way around his own house. But really good movie. And then, of course, Don't Breathe 2. I haven't seen this yet, so I don't know what it's like compared to the original. So I need to watch this. But I really like the first one, so hopefully this one's just as good, if not better. Next is Dragonheart Vengeance. You saw, if you watched the previous videos I did, I had the complete Dragonheart collection. I just bought this one because it's a cool slipcover, but I bought this one first. I didn't know there were other ones. I haven't seen any of them, but yeah, so I picked this up to watch it, and then I found the set of all of them, so I was like, I'll just grab that, but I'm keeping this just because of the slipcover. It's a cool slipcover. Next is Dreamcatcher, based on the book by Stephen King. I haven't watched this one yet, so I don't know what it's like, but it's Stephen King, so I'll probably like it, because I'm into those like weird movies. Dumbo, the 70th anniversary edition. I haven't seen Dumbo in forever. I watched it on VHS a long time ago, but I picked it up just because it was a Disney movie. I can't believe it's been 70 years at least. But and this was from 2011 was 70 years, so it's over 70. But yeah, I picked it up just because it's a Disney movie. I have seen Dumbo, just not in a while. Emperor's New Groove and Kronk's New Groove. I've seen Emperor's New Groove. I haven't seen Kronk's New Groove. I liked Emperor's New Groove. I actually liked the series they did too with Emperor's New School, but that's a whole nother thing. But I haven't seen Kronk's New Groove, so I don't know what that's like. Entourage, the movie. I found this at Dollar Tree, picked it up, haven't watched it, don't know much about it. I don't even really know why I picked it up, but I did. Next is The Equalizer and The Equalizer 2 2-pack. I saw the first one. Really good Denzel Washington movie. Haven't seen the second one yet, so I need to get around to watching that. But the first one's really good, where he basically ends up, fighting people. Really good movie though. Next is Escape Plan and Escape Plan 2. I saw both of these. I like the first one the best, just because I think it was a different concept where these guys are hired to try to break out of prison. So they let themselves commit crimes and get arrested so that they can break out of prisons. And it basically tests the the structure of the prisons and stuff, but then there's a conspiracy and they end up getting trapped in an unbreakable prison, and they have to escape that one. The second one, I've seen it, I didn't like it as much. And then the third one, I haven't seen, so I don't know much about the third one. I heard it wasn't as good, but the first one of the three is definitely my favorite. But I'll have to watch the third one before I say that, because I haven't seen it yet. Next is Everest. I have watched this one. Really good movie about these people that get stuck on Mount Everest and stuff. Good movie. A lot of big names in it too. So, good movie. Definitely check this one out if you haven't already. Next is Ex Machina. I've heard good things about this. I haven't seen it, so I definitely need to check this one out, but I just haven't yet. Exodus: Gods and Kings. This movie sucked. I don't know why I still have this. I honestly don't. Probably because I don't like to get rid of movies. Fargo. I haven't seen this yet. Frances McDormand is in this. I know it's got and William H. Macy's in it. It was nominated for Oscars. I don't think it won Best Picture. It might have actually. I don't remember. But I'll have to look back. But anyways, I picked it up to watch it because I've heard it was a good movie. I just haven't gotten around to seeing it yet. Another one that I heard was good was Fences. I picked this one up. Denzel Washington, Viola Davis. Haven't seen this yet though. The Fighter. I like this clear case. That's kind of cool. I picked this up because it was cheap, and I don't know much about it. I haven't really. I haven't watched it or anything, but I heard it was really good, so I picked it up. I guess it's like a boxing thing. Fighting with My Family. This was basically, I think, was it produced or directed by The Rock, produced by The Rock, whatever. But it's about the former WWE superstar Paige, and her life, I guess. I don't know how accurate it is, but The Rock's in it, and Florence Pugh, so from Black Widow and other stuff. But yeah, I haven't actually watched it, but I wanted to and just never got around to it. Still haven't watched it since I picked it up. Freddy vs. Jason. I like this movie. I don't care what people say. I know it's not the best, but for it being if you look at it by itself instead of part of the Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street series, if you look at it as a solo movie, it's a fun movie. It's not the greatest, but it's still a fun time. So that's why I enjoy it. There's a lot of action sequences between Freddy and Jason, especially at the end. Some of the best fight scenes I've seen in a movie, between two iconic horror movie villains. So, I mean, yeah, the movie could have been 10 times better, but still, I had fun with it. And if you look at it as part of the overall franchises, it's not a great movie, but by itself, not a bad movie. And I don't care. I have fun with it every time I watch it. Free Willy, Escape from Pirates Cove. I had another copy of this when I showed the Free Willy movies, but I picked this one up first, and then I got the set afterwards, so I could probably get rid of that one, but Bindi Irwin's in it. Next is Fringe, the complete first season. I found this at FYE used for cheap, so I picked it up because it sounded interesting. I haven't really heard much about it, but it was real cheap, and I picked it up. I wanted something different to watch. I haven't started watching this yet, but it's got this lenticular slipcover, and I needed some other used stuff to get like a discount off of some movies, so I grabbed this, but haven't watched it yet. Geostorm, another one I found at Dollar Tree. Heard mixed things about this, wanted to check it out, haven't gotten around to it yet. Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, still has the bonus disc inside. I've never seen this one. The first one wasn't that great, but who knows. I've heard that one wasn't either. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, I need to watch this. because I heard this was really good. Daniel Craig, Rooney Mara. I've heard this was really good, but I definitely need to check this one out. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I'm glad I found it, though, because I was looking everywhere, and then I found it one day at FYE, I think, or the collectible store or something. I was like, well, I'll pick it up while I'm here, especially because it was cheap. God's Not Dead 2 and God's Not Dead: A Light in the Darkness. I showed 1 and 4 on DVD. I don't know why I have these two on Blu-ray and not DVD, but these are great movies. They basically show how people throughout life that are Christians, go through stuff. Like this one's about a teacher who tries to teach about God and stuff in her class, and the parents get mad at her and try to take her to court and stuff, and then she has to try to win the case. And then this one is like a church gets burned down, but they show that like that's not going to stop them from their faith, and then people's families don't believe in the same stuff and things like that. So these are just great movies. And then of course the newest one that came out, God's Not Dead, We the People. I like all 4 of them. Godzilla, this is the, what was it, 2014, I think? Yeah, 2014 movie. I know there was one like before that. I didn't mind this. I rewatched it recently for Godzilla vs. Kong. I didn't mind this. And then Godzilla King of the Monsters, I was confused. I really was, but whatever. I don't know much about any of these monster things anyways. And then Godzilla vs. Kong. I saw this in theaters. I didn't mind this. It gave me Friday the 13th and AVP type vibes and stuff, 2 iconic characters fighting each other, and then in the end they end up teaming up. Sorry, spoiler alert, but yeah, they end up teaming up at the end to fight against Mechagodzilla, which was created by the people, of course, because human beings always mess everything up. But not a bad movie. It was a fun time. Not great by any means, but not bad. And then Gone Girl, another one I've heard great things about that I need to watch. I don't know why I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard this was a good movie. I picked it up for cheap and still haven't watched it. The next one I have is The Good Dinosaur. This is one of the few Pixar movies that I haven't seen. Well, I wouldn't say few. There's a good bit I haven't seen. But I know a lot of people like this, so I'll have to watch it. I probably will at some point. Goodfellas. This is one of those numbered slipcovers. They did this with DVDs too, and I explained in previous videos that I picked up a lot of movies because they had those numbered slipcovers from Warner Brothers. Haven't actually seen this. I know it's a classic, and I definitely need to watch this, but I haven't. Another one of those numbered slipcovers. Well, I guess the Blu-ray ones aren't like numbered like the DVD ones, where they just have a quote from the movie in it. This is Gran Torino. This one I have seen, Clint Eastwood. Really great movie. Definitely check this one out. It's one of only a few Clint Eastwood movies I've seen, and yet it's still one of my favorites. The Greatest Showman. Heard great things about this. I still have yet to check this out, and I need to. Zac Efron, Hugh Jackman, Zendaya, probably some other people. I know I need to watch this. I seriously need to, because I've heard good things about it. Green Book. This was a Best Picture winner. I did watch this not too long ago. I haven't reviewed it yet on the channel. I'll have to rewatch it before I review it. But really good movie. Mahershala Ali, Viggo Mortensen. Really good movie. The Green Knight. I didn't know much about this. I found this at Walmart. It seemed interesting. Picked it up. Still have yet to watch it. Still don't know much about it. But yeah. Yeah. I own Green Lantern. Not much to say about Green Lantern that already hasn't been said. Because Green Lantern was kind of trash. But most of the DC films are. So, just saying. The Gray, this is a Liam Neeson movie that I haven't watched. I know it's a great movie, and I've seen previews for it, and it looked interesting, and it sounds great. I guess he befriends wolves and stuff, and just sounds awesome. I don't know why I haven't watched this yet. Well, actually, I think I've seen parts of it. I don't think I've seen the full thing though. But I need to watch this because one, it's Liam Neeson, and two, it has wolves in it. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, whatever. I know it was more of a comedy movie, and I didn't enjoy it as much as Guardians 1, but still not my least favorite in the MCU. Gunpowder, found this at Dollar Tree. Sounds interesting. Haven't watched it yet. Liv Tyler, Kit Harington. Again, haven't seen it, but sounded interesting, so I picked it up. Hacksaw Ridge, this one I did watch. Really good movie about a guy in the army, played by Andrew Garfield, who is basically a Christian and doesn't believe in killing people and stuff, but he wants to still do his part and serve in the army. So he plays Desmond Dawes, who he saved the lives of, I'm reading the back of it, he saved I think like 75 people without using a gun at all during the Okinawa in World War II. And it's just a cool story, and it's based on a true story. I don't know how accurate it is, but great movie. The Hangover and The Hangover Part 2. Haven't seen either one of these. I just picked them up because they're movies, I guess. I don't even know if I'll ever watch them. Same with this one. Her. Is it Joaquin Phoenix? I don't know. It was cheap, so I grabbed it. Probably never watch it. Hocus Pocus. We did a review of this on our channel. Looking forward to the sequel, which comes out hopefully soon. But really great classic Halloween movie. If you haven't seen this, first off, have you been living in a hole? And second, what are you doing with your life? Because this is a great movie. Go check this out if you haven't seen it already. Really fun. I watch it a lot, actually. I've seen it a lot. Still really great. This next one, I know a lot of people hated on it, and I have no idea why. Seriously, I have never laughed this much in the movie theater as I did when I was watching this. That's Holmes and Watson. It's John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell as Will Ferrell as Sherlock Holmes and John C. Reilly as Watson. I don't know if people got upset because they thought it was going to be a serious Sherlock Holmes movie, and then when it wasn't, that's why they didn't like it, or if they just didn't like the humor in it. But I have never laughed as much at a movie in theaters as I did at this. I mean, this movie is freaking funny, okay? These two guys have great chemistry together, and if you went into this thinking it was going to be a serious Sherlock Holmes movie, then you were fooling yourself, and it's your fault. Because you can't have a serious movie with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. I don't know if that's even possible. I'm sure there's probably one out there somewhere, and I'm sounding like an idiot, but whatever. Just a great, funny movie. I don't know how you couldn't like this movie. I honestly don't. I enjoyed this movie. One of my favorites. Next is Holy Flying Circus. This was a Monty Python skit. I didn't enjoy this as much as some of the other ones I've seen. And then Home Alone, the 2 movie collection, the only 2 worth watching. Home Alone and Home Alone 2, both great movies. I think I like the first one better because the second one's kind of convenient. But really, really good movies to watch around Christmas time. This next one I found at Dollar General. That's Horrible Bosses. It was real cheap. Picked it up. I've heard mixed things about it. I don't know. But if you can't tell, I like movies, so I pick up movies when they're cheap. I'm probably never gonna watch half of these, but I like movies, so it's probably an addiction. Hotel Transylvania. Haven't seen it, but heard it was good. And Hotel Transylvania 2. Heard it was also good, so I need to watch both of these. And then I know there's a third one. I just haven't gotten it yet because I haven't watched the first 2, so what's the point? Humanity Bureau. Or Bureau, whatever. Haven't seen this. Not a huge Nicolas Cage fan, even though I have a lot of Nicolas Cage movies. But I need to check this one out. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. 2 movie collection. Seen the first one. Didn't even know they made a sequel. The first one's kind of sad, but it's Disney, so I picked that up for my Disney collection. Not my favorite movie, but still. I, Robot, I have seen this one. I like the slipcover. This was kind of cool. And now also owned by Disney because it's Fox. But really good movie. I enjoyed that. Ice Age, also owned by Disney. I had the complete series on DVD, but I have this one on Blu-ray just because it's a cool slipcover with Scrat on the cover. Really good movie. This I've only seen the first two Ice Age movies, but this is probably my favorite, even though I've only seen two. Immortals. Don't know much about this. Found this cheap at Dollar Tree or Dollar General, whatever. Sounded interesting. It's from the producers of the movie 300. So it's about like what is it? It's basically like a mythological thing about like, is it Greece, ancient Greeks, or something like that, or Rome or whatever. But Mickey Rourke's in it. Henry Cavill. Yeah, so sounded interesting. Picked it up. Haven't watched it. Impractical Jokers, the movie. Really funny. Really good movie. This series overall is really funny. These guys are great. 4 friends who make each other do stupid stuff in public. If you haven't checked out their series on TV, go watch the TV series on True TV. But they made an actual movie. It was still, like a skit, but it was also kind of a movie. But really funny. In Dubious Battle. This one sounded interesting. Again, still haven't seen it, but a lot of big names in it, so picked it up, wanted to watch it. Let me know if you've seen that one, because it sounded interesting. In the Heat of the Night, I think, didn't this win? Yeah, this won Best Picture, so that's why I picked this one up. I haven't seen it, though, so I probably should, but yeah, I'll probably watch this and do a review of it, because it's a Best Picture winner, so there's that. In the Heart of the Sea, I just picked this up because I wanted to watch it. I know it's probably not the greatest movie. I've heard some bad things about it, but I've heard a few good things too. Chris Hemsworth, so I figured I'd check it out. I just haven't yet. Like most of my movies, I told you're gonna hear me say that a lot in this part, especially this one. The Incredible Hulk. Again, not a bad MCU film, but not one of my favorites. It really doesn't make any sense for where we're at now in the MCU, other than introducing like Thaddeus Ross. Rest in peace, William Hurt. But it has no continuity with the rest of the stuff that we see in the MCU until Abomination came back in Shang-Chi. Then it was like, oh well, that makes sense. But it's still whatever. It's still a good movie. I hope they do something with the rest of it. Independence Day, I haven't seen. I like the slipcover though. Haven't seen this. And then Independence Day Resurgence, haven't seen that one either. I know that I've heard the first one was good. I heard the second one sucked, so who knows. I told you before, Iron Man 2. This is brutal. It really is. This and Thor: The Dark World were right there for the worst movies in the MCU. But then Eternals came out, and it's in the running also, I think. And then Iron Man 3, not much better, but still better than the. We could have done without both of those. Jeepers Creepers and Jeepers Creepers 2. I had the third one on DVD. Really like the first one. It's a weird, creepy, unique kind of concept. The second one wasn't bad. The third one, whatever. But these are really weird, and I know there's a lot of stuff going on with the director of this movie and stuff. I think he went to prison and crap, so who knows. But for the movies themselves, they're weird, but I kind of like them. Next, we get into 3 of my favorite movies in like recent memory. And the first one's on Steelbook. That's John Wick. Really good. John Wick Chapter 2, even better. And then John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. I wouldn't say it's even better than 2, but still good. I think it would go 2, 1, 3 for me. Definitely looking forward to John Wick Chapter 4, but these aren't horrible movies. They're really not. The Judge, I found this for cheap, picked it up, haven't watched it, heard it was good, so I'll probably watch it at some point. Who knows? I need to watch a lot of movies, so there's that. Jungle Book, this is the live action one. I did see this in theaters. I watched it again on Blu-ray after I got it. Really good movie. This is, I think, my favorite of these live action editions of these movies that Disney did. I didn't mind this one. I didn't see Aladdin, and I didn't really like Lion King that much. Jupiter Ascending, found this for real cheap. Picked it up, haven't watched it yet. And then Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, just because I'm an idiot and bought the Blu-ray edition instead of the DVD edition to match the rest of my DVDs, but I could buy the complete collection on Blu-ray, I guess. But not my favorite of the series. Not my least favorite of the series. Looking forward to the new one. I'll definitely go see that in theaters. Who knows? Maybe it'll wrap up the series. Maybe it won't. The next one is Kick-Ass 2. You saw the first one in the other part of the collection video I did. Haven't seen this one yet. I liked the first one, though. The Kid Who Would Be King wasn't one that I was really interested in, but I was like, what the heck? I'll pick it up. I still haven't watched it. I do that a lot. King Arthur seemed interesting. Jude Law. Haven't watched it. King Kong, the Peter Jackson edition, 2005. I like this. I had fun with this movie. I honestly did. I liked it. I know it's probably not the best of these monster movies, but I had fun with it. I still do. I like it, and I had a copy of this also on DVD, but I like this slipcover, so I kept it on Blu-ray too. But yeah. Next is Knives Out, another movie I saw in theaters. I really enjoyed this. It was like a murder mystery type thing. Gave me like Clue vibes. Daniel Craig. Really good movie. I enjoyed this. I hope they make more of these. I think they were planning on it, so I hope they do this. Rian Johnson did a great job with this. The next one is Kong Skull Island. I like King Kong better than this. I don't care. Not a great movie. Good setup for Godzilla vs. Kong, but not the greatest movie. I still liked it. Don't get me wrong. It's just not my favorite. The Life of Pi. Haven't seen this. Heard good things. Picked it up to watch it. Still haven't. I found that at FYE. The Little Things. Heard this was really good. 3 Academy Award winners. Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto, who's in Morbius now, because Academy Award winners go on and make crappy Sony movies. But I haven't seen this. I heard it was really good. I need to watch this because it's one I was really looking forward to seeing. Didn't get around to seeing it in theaters, and then picked it up and just for some reason didn't watch it. London Has Fallen. This is the second, I believe, in the Has Fallen trilogy, I guess you could call it. I don't know what else to call it. I haven't seen this, but I saw Olympus Has Fallen, and I really enjoyed that, so I need to watch this one. Love Actually, I haven't seen. Heard it was good. I might watch it. Who knows? Luca, another Pixar film I haven't seen. I got this for the Disney movie, or Disney 23 movie club thing I'm part of. I still haven't watched this. The M. Night Shyamalan East Rail 177 trilogy, Glass, Split, and Unbreakable. You saw another copy of, or you'll see another copy of Split later on because I bought that first and watched that. I've seen Unbreakable and Split. I have not seen Glass yet, so I need to check those out. But the first two, I really like the first two, so I need to watch Glass. The Man with the Golden Gun. This is another James Bond one. Roger Moore. I said before, I've seen one and parts of another James Bond film. I just picked these up to watch them. I have at least one from each actor, so this is, I think, my second one from Roger Moore that I have, but haven't seen that one. Next is The Marksman. This was a really good Liam Neeson movie, and I picked it up because it is a Liam Neeson movie. Really good, though. Next is Mary Poppins Returns. Haven't seen this, picked it up because it was Disney. I should probably watch this. Maze Runner Death Cure. Have seen this. Not my favorite of the series, but whatever. I have the other two on DVD. The Meg. I had fun with this. It's a shark movie, so there are some that I hate, but I buy a lot of these cheesy shark movies, and this was better than some of the other ones I've seen, so it wasn't my least favorite. It's no Jaws by any means, but still not a bad movie. Midnight in the Switchgrass. I've never heard of this. I found it at Dollar Tree, picked it up, haven't watched it. Bruce Willis and Megan Fox. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. This was a weird movie, but I kind of liked it. Judi Dench is in it for about 2 seconds. It's funny. Moana, another Disney movie that I need to watch. I know all the songs from it, but I haven't watched it. Next is Monsters, Inc. Probably one of my favorite Pixar movies. This is just something about this. This is great. I watched this on VHS before. Watched it on DVD. Still a good time to watch. If you haven't watched Monsters, Inc., I don't know why. You definitely should watch Monsters, Inc. Next is one of the funniest movies I have ever watched in my entire life. I never get tired of watching this. I could rewatch it 1,000 times more and still really enjoy this movie. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. The funniest thing I have ever watched. If you haven't seen this, it's a spoof on the stories of King Arthur and all that kind of stuff, which I think were basically fairy tales anyways, or myths or whatever. But this movie is freaking hilarious. Go watch this if you haven't. It's insane. It's funny. It's crazy. There's just stupidity. At one point, they even call out like that they met this guy before, and they're like, "Hey, it's him from before," like as a different character, and it's just hilarious. So go check this out if you haven't seen it already. Mrs. Doubtfire, really great Robin Williams movie. I really enjoyed this. Probably one of my favorite performances from Robin Williams. Mulan and Mulan 2. I've seen Mulan, one of my favorites. Really great movie. Haven't seen the second one. Don't know much about it. But Mulan is great. The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Haven't seen this. I picked it up because it was part of the Mummy thing, I think. Napoleon Dynamite, another one I haven't seen in forever, but I have watched this before. I do remember thinking it was funny when I first watched it, but I'll have to rewatch it just to see. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, really funny movie. I really enjoyed this one. And then National Lampoon's Vacation, which I haven't seen, so I probably should, but I haven't yet. New Mutants. This movie was kind of pointless and random and didn't need to exist. So there's that. 9 Lives. This was a fun movie. I haven't watched it in a while, but I remember liking it. North America. This is a documentary on different different animals and stuff in North America. I haven't watched this, but it's narrated by Tom Selleck, and I need to watch this because I like these documentaries. Occupation. This one I did watch. It was like these aliens invade Earth in, like, I think it was Australia or something. And Tamora Morrison's in it, the guy who plays Jango Fett and now Boba Fett in the Book of Boba Fett. Um, really weird movie, but I kind of enjoyed it. Oceans, Our Blue Planet. This is another documentary from BBC Earth about the oceans. This one was 4K also, but it has the Blu-ray. I don't have a 4K player, but it has the Blu-ray with it. Narrated by Kate Winslet. I started this. I haven't finished this yet, but I still really enjoyed it. Oliver and Company, great Disney movie. If you haven't checked this one out, go watch this. One of my favorites. Again, you'll probably hear me say that a lot too. Olympus Has Fallen, good movie. I said that before. I really enjoyed this. I haven't seen the other two yet, but really enjoyed this. Go check this out if you want to, because it's a good movie. And Onward, another Pixar movie that I haven't seen. A lot of these more recent Pixar movies I haven't seen, but I probably should, because I know a lot of them are good. I just haven't gotten around to this one yet. So the next one I have is I had 2 boxes of Blu-ray, so this is the second box. Open Season. This was a really good movie. I haven't watched it since I bought it again on Blu-ray. I watched it before. I really had fun with this. There's a lot of, like animals and stuff. I mean, it's an animal adventure movie, I guess, if you will. And also shows like a hunter and things like that. Really, really fun movie. I even had this on the PSP as a movie, which was kind of cool. So I really had fun with this, but I haven't watched it in a while. I still remember it, but I just haven't watched it in a while. This next one is Over the Hedge. I bought this mostly for the DreamWorks collection, because I mentioned before I'm trying to collect all the DreamWorks movies and maybe do a review of those or something. But I've also seen this. It's been forever since I've seen this. But I have watched this, and I do remember liking it, so I picked it up again, but mostly just because it was DreamWorks. Next is Pan. I don't know anything about this. I found this at Dollar Tree. Figured I'd pick it up. I know it's not like accurate to Peter Pan, I don't think, but it's some other rendition of it, but whatever. I picked it up. Next is Passengers. I heard mixed things about this movie, so when I found it, I picked it up. I had no clue that it also came with After Earth, which has Will Smith and Jaden Smith in it. It had a copy of that too. I didn't even pay attention to that when I found it. But I picked this up to watch it. I haven't gotten around to seeing this yet, but let me know what you guys thought of it, because I've heard mixed reviews on this movie. Next is The Patriot. Mel Gibson. This is a great movie. Heath Ledger, Jason Isaacs, Mel Gibson, obviously. Really, really good movie. This and Braveheart, I think, are my 2 favorite of Mel Gibson's movies. So, really good. If you haven't seen this, definitely check this one out. This next one is Pete's Dragon. This is the live action one. I haven't seen this one. I picked this up just because it's a Disney movie. I got this at Dollar General for real cheap, so I picked it up, and I haven't watched this. I watched the original one, the animated one, a long time ago on VHS. Don't really remember much about it, so I haven't seen this. But I know they've been making a lot of those live action Disney movies, and I've only seen a couple of them, but Jungle Book was my favorite of those. I mentioned that earlier. Next is Pilgrimage, another one I found at Dollar General. Sounded interesting. It's got Tom Holland, Richard Armitage, John Bernthal, so sounded interesting. Picked it up. Haven't watched it yet, but it was cheap, so I picked it up. Let me know if you know anything about that one. Next is the Pirates of the Caribbean, the 4-film collection. This has the first 4. This has Curse of the Black Pearl, Dead Man's Chest, Outworld's End, and On Stranger Tides. And then I had Dead Men Tell No Tales, or Salazar's Revenge, whatever you call it, wherever you're at, on DVD. The first 2 I like. After that, I could really care less. I just bought the 5th one because it was part of the series. I haven't watched it yet. I've watched all 4 of these. But the first 2 are definitely the best. After that, I could really care less. I think they're making another one, and if they are, they probably shouldn't, but whatever. But the first 2 were not bad. Next is Platoon. I picked this up because it's a Best Picture winner, and I wanted to watch it. I haven't gotten around to it yet. Probably should. You might see a review of this someday on this channel, but I found it for cheap, and I was like, well, it's a Best Picture winner, so I'll pick it up, but I haven't watched that one yet. Point Break. I think this is the remake of Point Break. Yeah, this is not the original Point Break, so I don't know why I bought this, but it was cheap, so I picked it up, but I haven't watched that one yet either. Next is Ponyo. I got this one mostly because it is Liam Neeson voices a character in this, and I never watched really any of these, what's it called, Studio Ghibli or whatever. I never watched any of these, but Liam Neeson's in this one, and I was trying to get all the stuff that he's done, so I picked this one up for that, but I haven't watched this yet. I know there's other people in it too, obviously. There's a lot of people in this movie, but that's why I picked this one up. So this is the only Studio Ghibli one I have, and I haven't watched it yet. Let me know if you guys have any recommendations for any more of those, or even for that one if you think I should watch it. Let me know. Next is the Predator 3-film collection. I mentioned in my DVDs, when I showed off the Predators on DVD, that I had the Blu-ray collection. The discs are still in here for this. This is a steelbook. And I just picked this up because I really like that image on the steelbook, and I like steelbooks, and this was pretty cheap for being a 3-pack and a steelbook. I got it on sale one time, so I was like, sure, why not? And this has the first 3. It doesn't have that new trash Predator movie, but I have that one on DVD. I've seen all of these. The first one's obviously my favorite. I literally have Predator on my wall behind the camera. Predator is just a cool character, so classic movies, at least the first one is. The other 2, whatever, and that 4th one that sucked. I mean, I saw it in theaters and then watched it again. I don't know why I wasted my time or money watching it or buying it, but I did because it's part of the series. But these ones the first one at least is really good. Next is Prisoners. This is one I've heard good things about and I need to watch. I don't know why I haven't yet, but I found this at Dollar General, picked it up because it seemed interesting, and just haven't gotten around to it yet. But I know I definitely need to watch that one. Prometheus, this is basically a prequel to Alien, the original Alien movie, and Alien Covenant, which is a sequel to this. I watched Alien Covenant before I watched this because I didn't know that you were supposed to watch Prometheus first. And then I watched Prometheus, and Covenant kind of makes more sense now. Still a dumb movie, but makes a little bit more sense. This wasn't that good, but I'm not going to hate on it as much as some other people do. People give this hate, and I can see why, but I kind of had fun with it. There was aspects of it that were okay. But it's a prequel to Alien, which I really didn't think you needed. Next is the Rambo, the complete collector's set. This has First Blood, Rambo First Blood Part 2, Rambo 3, and Rambo. It says it right there. I haven't watched any of these. I know I need to. At least the first one's obviously a classic. I just haven't. I never really cared to watch any of these. I picked this up with the intent to watch them and just haven't. Rampage. This was fun. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I had fun with this. It was kind of like a knockoff version of Godzilla vs. Kong, in my opinion. I liked it though. Dwayne Johnson, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So I thought it was fun. But you have your own opinions. I don't know if you liked it or not, but I did because I like weird movies, I guess. I don't know. Ready Player One. This was a good movie. I watched this 3 times, I think. I didn't watch it in theaters. I got it after I got it on Blu-ray. I watched it about 3 times. I really enjoy this movie. I don't know if it's just all the video game references or what, but there's a lot of things in this movie that it just makes this seem like a real world type movie, because a lot of the stuff, the video game references or the movie references, are movies and video games that like I've played or I've seen. So it made it more real for me. I never read the book, so I don't know what the book's all about and stuff, but I really like this movie. So yeah, if you haven't seen this, go check that out. Next is Red versus Blue, Singularity. This is based on the Halo series. I didn't watch this. I just found it. I got it for cheap at Walmart, and it's Halo related, so I was like, sure, why not? I haven't watched this, so I don't know if it's good. I think they have other Halo things. There's a new series out on like Hulu or something, or one of those ones. I don't remember what thing it's on, but I heard that wasn't very good, so I don't know. Next is Robin Hood, classic Disney. This was a good movie. It's not one of my favorite Disney movies, but it's still a Disney movie, so I picked it up. I haven't watched it since I got it on Blu-ray, but I have seen this. It's not bad. And then this is Robin Hood. Was this 2018? Yeah, I think this was 2018. Robin Hood with Taron Egerton, Jamie Foxx. I didn't watch this one. I really like that slipcover, and it was only like $5 at Walmart, so I picked it up, but I haven't watched this one yet. Let me know if you've seen that, what you guys think of it. Next is RoboCop. Whatever. This movie sucked. I didn't like it. Rogue. This seemed interesting. Megan Fox is in this. I don't know. I found it at Walmart. Seemed interesting. Picked it up. I haven't watched it yet, but looks like one I'd probably watch. So Rogue One, a Star Wars story. A lot of people didn't like this. I thought it was a good movie, and you know, as a Star Wars fan, I can see why you didn't like this movie, because it kind of, in a way, sort of doesn't really add up, except the ending. But I thought it was good for as a solo movie, not Solo, a Star Wars story, but as a solo movie. I didn't mind it. There's different plot points and stuff, but I think we get one of the coolest Darth Vader scenes in this at the end when he's attacking the Tantive 4 to get the plans back. But this also did a great job of showing what happened that, you know, to lead into Episode 4 and how they got the plans for the Death Star and stuff like that. So I didn't mind this movie. I know a lot of people didn't, but I liked it. So whatever. It's definitely better than some of the other recent Star Wars movies we've got. Saving Flora. I found this for $6, it looks like, at Dollar General. Seemed interesting. I picked it up. And the funny part is it's got David Arquette and Jenna Ortega, who were both in the new Scream movie. So that's kind of funny. I bought this before Scream came out, but that's still, I didn't even realize that until now. And Tom Arnold's in this, so I don't know. It just seemed interesting. I picked it up. It was cheap, so I grabbed it, but I haven't watched it yet. Next is the Saw 8 film collection. This has Saw 2, Saw 3, Saw 4, Saw 5, Saw 6, Saw the Final Chapter, and Jigsaw. I've seen the first 6 of these. I haven't seen Final Chapter or Jigsaw. The first one's my favorite just because it was a different concept and stuff. After that, it kind of started going downhill where other people take over after John Kramer, and who's Jigsaw. And the story just kind of goes away from what he started in the first one. So it just really didn't make any sense. You could have stuck with one and been okay, I think, in my opinion. But still, I have the whole series. Maybe I'll watch the other 2 that I haven't seen yet, but who knows. Searching. This is one that I wanted to see in theaters and didn't get around to it. I still haven't watched it, mostly because I just kind of pushed it off to the side and just haven't watched it yet. But it seemed interesting where I guess his daughter get kidnapped or something, so he has to use her social media or something to find her, and it's like a race against time and stuff to find her, something like that, something along those lines. So it seemed interesting. Picked it up. Haven't seen it. Let me know if you've seen this, what you thought of it, and if you think it's worth me checking out. Next is one of my favorite of the recent MCU films, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I had a great time with this in the theaters. I can't stand Awkwafina, but whatever. That's just my opinion. But the movie itself was good. It had a lot of connections with the rest of the MCU, you know, with Wong being in it, and the scene at the end where he's talking with Bruce Banner, Wong, and Captain Marvel, and Abomination is in this, so we found out where Abomination has been since the events of Incredible Hulk. And just a really good movie. It focused on the actual Mandarin and not the stupid one from Iron Man 3. But Shang-Chi was really good. One of my favorites of the most recent MCU stuff. Really good movie. Shark Week, the 30th anniversary. This has like a sand thing on it. So it's kind of cool. It's got like 30 years worth of, well, not every episode of Shark Week, but it's got some of the great moments from Shark Week from throughout the 30 years of Shark Week. And this came out in 2018, so it's over 30 years old now. But Shark Week is my favorite week of the year. I love sharks, if you haven't been able to tell from some of my movies in the previous parts of this video, or of these videos. This is just, I probably saw all these episodes on TV already before I watched this, but I've watched this again recently for this last Shark Week, and these never get old. I love, they're basically just stories about sharks, and they teach you different things about sharks and stuff, so they're really cool. If you're into like animals and nature and stuff, check out Shark Week on Discovery Channel. Next is The Shape of Water. I only picked this up because it won Best Picture, and I haven't watched it yet, but I'll need to do a review of it for my Oscars reviews. But let me know what you guys thought of this, if you've seen it. I hadn't even heard of it until it won Best Picture, so I still to this day don't even know what it's about. The Sherlock Holmes collection, Sherlock Holmes and Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows. I'm sorry, but Robert Downey Jr. is not that good as Sherlock Holmes. I know a lot of people like him as Sherlock Holmes. He's just not my favorite Sherlock Holmes. I'm sorry. I've never been a fan of Robert Downey Jr. to begin with. And then when he plays Sherlock Holmes, I don't want to take anything away from Sherlock Holmes and the stories and stuff, but I don't like these renditions of, I'm not going to say they're horrible, because the stories themselves are good, but for some reason I just don't like Robert Downey Jr. as Sherlock Holmes. But I've seen both of these. They're good movies. I don't like him as Sherlock Holmes. Shoot 'Em Up. I found this at Dollar General. Haven't watched this. Haven't really heard anybody talk about it either. I don't know. It seemed like something interesting, so I picked it up. Don't even remember what it's about, or what I read, but yeah. This next one is Shooter and Four Brothers. I've seen Four Brothers. It's a good movie. I haven't seen Shooter, so definitely check out Four Brothers. Let me know if you've seen Shooter, what you thought of it, because I haven't seen it yet, but Mark Wahlberg's in both of these. Four Brothers is a really good movie. Skyscraper. Not my favorite of the Dwayne Johnson stuff. I guess it could have did without it, I guess, but not a horrible movie. There were parts of it that for me were just kind of convenient or didn't make sense, so whatever. But it wasn't a bad movie. Sleepy Hollow. I haven't seen this. I've heard good things about it. I want to check it out. Johnny Depp, Christina Ricci, or Ricci, however you say her name. Oh yeah, Michael Gambon's in this. And I just really like that slipcover. This is about the Headless Horseman and stuff, and things like that. So I wanted to check this out. Who knows? Maybe on Halloween or something this year I'll watch this. But let me know if you've seen that, what you thought of it. Snakes on a Plane. This was a weird movie. Samuel Jackson stuck on a plane with a bunch of snakes, because people like bring snakes on the plane and then they get let out and they start killing people, and it's just really raunchy and really weird and crazy, and yet I kind of liked it. But it is a weird movie, definitely not for children, so if you're a child, don't watch this. But yeah, I kind of enjoyed it, and it's a Samuel L. Jackson movie, and I was trying to get all of his stuff, so I have seen this though. It's a weird movie, but not bad. Solo, a Star Wars story. Again, people hate on this, and I can see why. Um, I didn't mind it as a separate Star Wars movie from the main Skywalker saga and stuff. I mean, it wasn't exactly separate because it still has Han Solo and Chewbacca and Darth Maul and connections to the rest of Star Wars, but I I still liked it, and I don't care. I had fun with it. It's still better than Rise of Skywalker. Son of God. I found this at FYE, and this has like a booklet with it. So I picked it up because I hadn't watched this. I've heard good things about it. I need to check it out, and I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Next is Sonic the Hedgehog. I still have yet to watch this. I know the new one's coming out, or it came out already or something, but I have yet to watch this. I heard it was good, so I need to check this one out. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. And then the next one is Species. Found this at Dollar General. I don't know. It seemed kind of weird, but I picked it up just to check it out. Who knows? Next is a 3-pack. This is Speed, Broken Arrow, and Entrapment. I've seen Speed. That's basically the reason I picked this up. But I haven't watched the other two, so I don't know much about them. I just picked this up for Speed because I couldn't find Speed anywhere, and then when I found it in the 3-pack, I was like, well, I don't have the other two. I've never seen them. Maybe I'll watch them, but I still haven't watched them. But Speed's a good movie. Next is Spider-Man 2-pack. It's Homecoming and Far From Home. I liked Homecoming. Far From Home wasn't bad. It could do without it, I guess. But I liked Homecoming. And then I have another copy of Homecoming just because I like this cover, and I bought this obviously before Far From Home came out. I just didn't want to get rid of it because I like this cover, and I like that on the back it's upside down, like he's sitting on the roof, so you have to turn it to read it, which is kind of cool. That's really neat. So I kept the other copy of Homecoming, but again, one of my favorites. Spider-Man 3, whatever. It's a movie, I guess. I just bought it because it's part of the Spider-Man trilogy. Spiral. I watched this not that long ago. This is basically like a sequel to all the Saw movies. It takes place like years later, and there's new followers of John Kramer, who's Jigsaw, Samuel L. Jackson, Chris Rock. This was really weird, but a really good movie. I kind of enjoyed this. I didn't watch this in theaters, but I watched it once I got it on Blu-ray. Pretty good movie. For it being by itself, I wouldn't compare it to the rest of the Saw movies. Split, I mentioned before, when I showed the M. Night Shyamalan trilogy, that I had another copy of Split. So this is this one. I really don't need this still, but I kept it just because I had this before the other one came out. Spooky Buddies. I got this when Disney Movie Rewards was still a thing. They gave mystery Blu-rays and mystery DVDs for so many points. When you buy a Disney movie, you get like a code, and the code would give you points. They stopped doing it when they changed to Disney Movie Insiders. But this was one of the mystery Blu-rays I got, so that's why I kept it. But I haven't watched it. The next one I have is Star Wars Rebels Season 2. I don't know why I have this one on Blu-ray. It's the only one I have on Blu-ray. The rest of them are on DVD. But really like Star Wars Rebels. I didn't get into it right when it came out. I started watching it later on. But it's a really great series. It's not. I like Clone Wars better, but Rebels is still pretty good. And then we get into the new trilogy of Star Wars. So we have The Force Awakens, my favorite of the new trilogy. I had fun with this. I don't know if it was the nostalgia stuff after 40 years, and obviously I didn't watch the originals 40 years ago, but this takes place, after the first 6. This is episode 7, obviously. But I saw this in theaters, had a good time with it. Watched it again. I can still watch this one. I can still stand Force Awakens. This one's not bad. The Last Jedi, when I first watched it, I wasn't too fond of it. Rewatching it, it's still not perfect by any means. but I can at least stand it now, somewhat. For the most part, I guess I can handle watching it again. And then Rise of Skywalker. It was more nostalgic than anything else, and I didn't like that, because this is a Star Wars movie. You're not supposed to focus on nostalgia. A bad ending to the Skywalker saga, I think, and I hate saying that because I love Star Wars, but this isn't. It's this and Attack of the Clones, I think, for my least favorite. Last Jedi I like better than this, and that's sad because I hated Last Jedi for a long time. Next, I found at Dollar Tree, this is Storage 24. It's about like this alien thing that was trapped in a storage unit or something, and so they end up accidentally setting it free, and so it chases them down and stuff. So it was a unique concept. It was only $1, so I picked it up. I haven't watched it yet. Taken 3, I had the other 2 on DVD. I haven't watched this one yet, but I grabbed it because it's 1 part of the Taken trilogy, and 2, it's Liam Neeson. But I haven't watched this one. I've watched the first 2 though, and I really like the first one. Second one, the Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. I haven't watched this. Robert Shaw is in this. He was in Jaws, which I think is the main reason I picked it up. But I haven't watched this yet. It was like $3, so I grabbed it. Tenet, another one I've heard good things about. I haven't watched it yet. That rattling you hear is the insert thing to separate the Blu-ray and DVD disc. There's no disc in here. Heard good things. Want to watch this. Haven't gotten around to it yet. So if you've seen this, let me know what you thought of it, because I've heard it was really good, and I need to watch this. Next is the Terminator, classic Schwarzenegger. I have seen this one. I had 2 and 3, I think, on DVD, and I really like this slipcover. This is one of those like cool designs. I know a lot of movies were doing this. They had like re-releases with different slipcovers and stuff, with different art designs and stuff on them. But that's a cool design. But classic Arnold Schwarzenegger. I've seen this one. I've seen the second one. I haven't seen the third one. Thor: The Dark World. Why is this even a movie in the MCU? This is another one I got from Disney Movie Rewards as a mystery Blu-ray. I just kept it. I'm never going to watch it. It's Tinkerbell and the Lost Treasure. I don't care. I'm not going to watch it. I just kept it because it's part of the Disney thing, and I got it from Disney Movie Rewards, which is no longer a thing. So I kept it for that reason. I'm never going to watch it. Next is Tomorrowland. I bought this mostly just because it's a Disney movie. I haven't watched it yet. Heard mixed things about it. Maybe I'll check it out. Who knows? But it's a Disney movie, so I added it to my collection. Treasure Buddies, another one I got from the mystery Blu-ray. I used that as much as I could because it was always hard for me to choose which Disney movies I wanted. So I was just like, I'll just get a mystery Blu-ray. Maybe I'll get one I've never even heard of, which did happen a couple of times. But yeah, I've never watched this one either, but I kept it because of that. Treasure Planet, one of my favorite Disney movies, even to this day. I've rewatched it so many times. It's just something about this movie. I don't know. Like space pirates, literally. They're on a ship and they're looking for old treasure and stuff, and there's a black hole and they get sucked into it and have to come back out. And it's a really fun movie with different plot points and stuff, and it's just, I always had fun with it. Twister, I found this for cheap. I haven't watched this. Probably need to, because I've heard mixed things about it, but I just haven't watched this one yet. Up, one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Pixar movies. An incredible story, and I've never cried so much watching a movie as I did watching this. There were parts that were really sad, and if you've seen this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't usually cry during movies, but this was sad, especially the beginning part. But really good Pixar movie. If you haven't watched that, check it out. The Usual Suspects, haven't seen this. Found it for cheap. It was always one that I've heard people talking about, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll check it out, but I haven't yet. So let me know what you guys thought of that if you've seen that. Venom. I enjoyed the first Venom movie. There was things that I was confused on, but rewatching it, it kind of made a lot more sense. So I didn't mind the first one. Venom: Let There Be Carnage. Not as good, in my opinion. Next is Viva Las Vegas. I just bought this because it was cheap at Dollar Tree or Dollar General or something. It has like a booklet, kind of like Son of God. But yeah, I haven't watched this. Next is Voyagers, another one I've heard mixed things on, and it just seemed interesting. Figured I'd check it out. Just haven't gotten around to it yet. Yeah. West Side Story. This has one of those cardboard things on it as the cover. I have not watched this. This is the original West Side Story, the Best Picture winner. I bought it because of that, because it won Best Picture. Haven't watched it. Really could care less. But I bought it for the Best Picture winners because I'm trying to get all of them. I didn't watch the new one either, which was also nominated for Best Picture. Didn't win though, so which thank God I don't have to buy the new one. The Wolf of Wall Street. I've seen parts of this, haven't seen the full movie. I had a good time with what I saw, but I haven't watched the full thing, so maybe I'll have to at some point. Wonder Woman. I like this. This was one of my favorite DC movies. I mean, yeah, there's points that don't make sense or could be left out and stuff, but this and Aquaman I think were my two favorite of the DC stuff, at least the recent DC stuff that I watched at least. So I really like this. I don't have Wonder Woman 84. I heard it was crap, so I didn't bother buying it. Wonder Woman Bloodlines. This is an animated Wonder Woman thing. I don't know why I bought this. I think I got it just because it was cheap, and that's kind of a cool case. But I figured I have an animated Superman one. I have a lot of the animated Batman, so I figured maybe I'd check it out and see what it was like. But I haven't watched it. Next is The World Is Not Enough, another James Bond. This is Pierce Brosnan. I think this is the only one I have of Pierce Brosnan's. But like I said before, I have one from at least one from every actor who's played James Bond, and I've never seen this one, so I don't know. I never got into James Bond, but maybe I will. World War Z. It wasn't a bad zombie movie. Overall, it was good. There were some scenes that were like, yeah, whatever. But not a bad zombie movie. I never got into zombie movies and stuff, but World War Z wasn't bad. The Fifth Wave, I've never watched this. I found this for cheap. I picked it up, and I haven't watched it yet, but I heard it wasn't that good, so I'm kind of skeptical on watching it. 10 Cloverfield Lane, another one I haven't watched yet. Heard good things. Need to check this out. I think, is this the first or second? Because there's Cloverfield and then there's 10 Cloverfield Lane. I think Cloverfield is first, so I need to watch that one first before I watch that. 12 Rounds 2. I showed 12 Rounds in my DVDs. For the longest time, I didn't even know they made this. This has Randy Orton, a WWE superstar. The first one had John Cena, and I think they made a third one with Dean Ambrose, who's another wrestler. But this is nothing like the first one, so I don't think. I've never seen it, but I heard it wasn't that good. 12 Strong, another one I wanted to watch and never did, still haven't. I bought this because it sounded interesting, and I just haven't gotten around to watching it yet, so you'll have to let me know if you've seen that, what you guys thought. The 33, this is about the Chilean miners that got trapped in the mines back in, I don't even remember when it was, 2010, I think. I don't know when the movie came out, but I think they got trapped in 2010. Yeah, look, I think the movie came out in 13, and they got trapped in the mines in 10 or something. But it's based on the real story of that. Obviously, not the real people, but the same story. So I wanted to watch this. I haven't gotten around to it yet, so I need to watch this though. 47 Meters Down. Not a bad shark movie. These two girls go diving, end up getting trapped in the shark cage at the bottom of the water, and here it turns out to be a setup or something. I don't know. So not a bad movie. And then the second one, not as good. 47 Meters Down Uncaged. Not as good, but still a shark movie, and I bought it because it's a shark movie. So the next one is 101 Dalmatians. I actually got sent this from Disney Movie Club, but really classic Disney movie, really good. If you haven't seen it, check that one out. And then the last one we have here is 300 Rise of an Empire. I haven't seen this one. I have seen 300. I haven't seen this one yet, so I need to watch this one. But anyways, guys, there you go. That's it for the final part of my updated DVD and Blu-ray collection. I hope you guys enjoyed watching these. I know I always have fun filming these and showing off the recent pickups I get and different things, and I love talking about movies, even though I don't watch half of the movies I buy, which I probably should do. So let me know in the comments if you've seen any of these, what you guys thought of them, or if you want to see me review any specific movies, whether they be Oscar winners or just any random movie that I have. Or if you have suggestions of movies that I didn't have in one of these parts that you think I would like, or something that I should check out and maybe review, let me know in the comments. Make sure you like this video, check out what else we got going on this channel, and remember, leave the scumbaggery at home, and I'll see you guys in the next one.